Hi, welcome back to the channel. What I'm going to talk about today is, I've said before, I've got a good contact in India. If he comes across things that might be of interest to me, he sends me an email. And up to yet, I would say maybe out of 10 things he sent, I would say 8 have been bang on. So I can't say I believe what he says, but he sent me this information. I had an email when I got up this morning. I had a look and I had a read of it. And I think, well, I'll make a blog on this and let you know about this. What this is this the end of CF Moto and Cove and Chinese motorcycles in particular? What's happening in the USA? The USA is bringing a law. It's going through their Senate at the moment. And if it passes, by the year 2027, there'll be a ban on Chinese vehicles. The cars, they've already put 100% tariff on them. What it's going to cover, they're going to target vehicles, powered vehicles that use public highways that integrate with onboard network hardware with computer systems such as communication, telecommunications, satellite, GPSs actually. So you're talking about your sat navs on your bikes. But this is only on Chinese vehicles. Well, it's actually Chinese and Russian, which I found a bit confusing as such. What Russian things are sent to America, really? I think if Russia sends anything, it's liable to be in the form of a missile, isn't it, really? But the Chinese have flooded the markets with EV cars that's ultra cheap, very good quality. So they've put 100% tariff on that, basically to stop people buying them. Doesn't look the thing to buy at the moment. But the motorbikes, CF Moto is actually physically on their list, and so is Cove. And I believe there's some other bikes as well, but it's only Chinese. The CF Moto is what they call a telematics box, T-box, and they've got rider apps which constitute network hardware. What these mean is they're linked to your phone. So you have to link everything to your phone to make it work. Now, the senator says it's not hard to think of the damage it could do and the security risk if you've got your personal information linked to a Chinese computer, which I suppose when you think about it, how things are nowadays, it is very true. The same with Russian, but Russia, like I say, they don't make vehicles really that's sent over. I don't know whether they make computers, but I would have thought China's the main people they're worried about. They've already been caught out, the Chinese have, through crashing computer systems and networks, taking them down. And all this hardware that's fitted to the latest bikes will be banned. Whether it's just the bikes that's got TFTs or it's all the Chinese bikes, I don't know. But I don't know, even like the 450s and whatnot have got TFTs on now, right the way through the models. And they're quite advanced with all the apps and modes and things you can put in. It's connected to your phone. What they're saying is where you work, they can follow your journey to work. If you work at a security type place, that's what they're aiming to see. Your conversations, who you ring, where you ring, who you speak to, it's all a security risk if they can access the computer work on your vehicles, your cars and motorcycles. The Cove's the same. The Cove is fitted with GPS and connected to your phone via Bluetooth. It's all satellite, isn't it? If anything's got a GPS, it's connected to a satellite and Google Apps and etc. Well, if it's Chinese satellites, they're just pulling the information off. One of the other things is on their list, believe it or not, which I thought it was strange, but when I think about it, it's right. DJI, like I'm talking to you through a DJI camera at the moment. when you get a DJI camera or a drone, for instance, you have to connect it to your phone. Now, drones, for instance, are flown everywhere. They are coming under a bit of restriction now. You can't fly them over airports. I thought that was just danger of flying into passenger planes and things like this. But you can't fly them over. Where I live, we've got a huge power plant, one of the bigger ones in Europe, and it doesn't just feed Bulgaria, it feeds Romania, it goes all over the place, and it's been extended and extended. You can't fly a drone there. You'd be arrested on the spot if you got caught. You can't even take photographs. The only times I've managed to get anything on film, which is difficult because it's got high fences around it, is when I'm right past on my motorbike. But if ever I was to pull up, stop, the police or their security, which are constant on the boundary, I'd be arrested and my gear would be confiscated. I wonder myself, is this really to do with security? Or are they using this as an excuse for trade war? Because I've read that CF Moto, especially with their motorcycles and their quads, which both are huge in the USA, are taking a real foothold there, and they can't keep up with demand. Of the quads, there's a waiting list. The motorbikes, there's a massive waiting list. And the same's happened in Canada, I believe. Is it part of it, do you think, a trade war to stop the import of these motorcycles? Also, it's killing off competition, killing off the competition, really. As we've gone through before, Chinese don't make rubbish bikes anymore, do they? And they certainly don't make rubbish quads. In Bulgaria, we're flooded with CF Moto quads here. Now, they're not doing nothing about Japan. Japan has TFTs, Triumph has TFTs. They're not bothered about that, which I would have thought they could still be picked up by spy satellites, and I would have thought, I know it's not a direct link like the Chinese, and I don't know, you tell me. Do you think this is really a trade war, or is it to do with country security? I'm not sure. Now, the only other thought I had was, I was always told years and years ago, if America has bad weather, eventually that will come over to the UK. I think it was maybe to do with the winds or the flows or whatever you call it. But the UK always gets the tail end of a hurricane, nowhere near in the strength of the USA, but they do get it. Do you think what happens in America with the government that you have in the UK now, who just really play follow the leader, don't they? You know, people get sort of semi-blackmailed, don't they? You know, if you want to do trade with us, you have to fall in line with X, Y, Z. So if they ban CF Moto in America, possibly Canada, what will happen in the UK? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Anyway, tell you what, you have a think about this, leave it in the comments below. Now, I'm pleased with my old, well, not old, nearly new, my Royal Enfields. I've got no TFTs on any of my bikes. I do have a mobile phone, like, but just gives you food for thought, doesn't it? So anyway, if you thought this was interesting, which I think this is interesting, give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, because it helps me keep the channel going. I always say it, and you might get bored with it, but without subscribers, it's not worth me doing this. And it comes rather expensive running a YouTube channel, so every little bit helps. Please subscribe, give it a big thumbs up. Any comments, leave them down below. You know we always answer them, and I'll be interested in this actually, what your thoughts are, whether it's a load of like crap or a big possibility. No, we all have our own thoughts, but if by 2027 the USA has banned CF Moto and Cove under the disguise of TFTs, computers, just don't know what's going to happen in the UK, do you? Right, see you in the next video. Cheers.